Section 7, angle bisectors. So now we have a triangle that we're going to look at, and we're going to talk about an angle coming out of one of the vertices so that it bisects that angle and then goes to the other side of the triangle. Now it's not a segment bisector, we're not bisecting the opposite side or anything, we are bisecting the angle. So this is different than what we talked about before. Now I'm going to show you what happens here with the simplest one, okay, without a formula, to see if you can pick up what's going on. Now because this is the angle in which we are coming from, and that's the one being bisected, we're going to focus on a ratio that compares one of the sides of that angle, 8, over the side that is opposite that, so right here, 6. And that proportion will be equal to, if I go to this side, the other side of the angle that's been bisected, that's the unknown, that's a question mark there, will be over the opposite side there, which is 9. And this is a proper proportion, which we can cross multiply, and we would go 6x equals 72, and x then is 12. Alright, so it takes a little practice on this one. If we go to the next one, again we talked about how we're going to compare, we're going to look specifically at the angle that's been bisected, and from there we're going to say one of the sides of that angle that's been bisected, make that ratio of that side over the side opposite that piece of it. Then we're going to go to the other side of the triangle that's been bisected and put that over the side opposite that piece, that angle, which is the unknown. Cross multiply that, and we will get x equal to 8. Now with that said, if we go to a little bit more complex one like this one, same rules apply. Start with the easy one. We're going to take, so here's our angle that's being bisected. We're going to take one side of that angle, which is 4, and put it over the side opposite the piece we're focusing on, and that's 2. Then we're going to now look at the other side of the angle that's been bisected, so negative 8 plus 2x over the side opposite that piece, which is 1. Cross multiply, which brings up an interesting situation. 4 times 1 is 4. 2 has to be distributed, not to forget that, and we've shown that we can remember that now. Plus 4x, and we add 16 to both sides, and we get 20 equals 4x, divided by 4, x equals 5. Very good. So now if you really want to get interesting, we can go with the first one here that I'm glad we skipped. Now we hopefully have a little bit of understanding of what's going on, but notice that all of a sudden we have this big side. All right, so let's really understand what we've done so far. We've talked about this angle being bisected, so we would focus one side of that angle being bisected and put it over the side opposite it. And then we say we're going to look at the other side of the angle that's been bisected, which is 4, over this piece. But we don't know that piece. So we have a little bit of detective work to do here. And that detective work will say, well, if the whole thing is 2x minus 9, and this length is 6, then this piece right here is going to be the whole length, take away the 6, which is actually then 2x minus 15. That represents this piece right there. So if I put that in, this is our proportion that we would cross multiply, which would give us 24 equals 16x, and that one would be, I think, 120. 8 times negative 15, so negative 120. Add 120 to both sides, and we get 144. Divide by 16, and we get 9. So a little bit more detective work on that one, but that's sort of the top end of our work that we would be expected to do. And this ends section 7 on angle bisectors.